We're live.
We're live,
Hey,
Mark.
hey, folks. Welcome to the podcast. I'm Nurse Mark.
And I am the Green Nurse. And this is a very special edition of Nurse Mark and the Green Nurse, where we bring,
Hope
inspiration
for growth.
and healing.
Healing.
Hey, Mark,
Yeah.
do you love the skin you're in?
I love the skin I'm in, Sherry. Yes, that's what we're going to talk about tonight, folks. Oh, we're going to talk about the largest organ in your body.
Yes, the integumentary system.
Mm-hmm.
And the part that's really interesting is that we generally take our skin for granted. I know a lot of us do. It does a lot of different things. There's a ton of essential functions. Yes, it does. Keeps us alive. So let's go over like the essential functions of the skin, just so people can understand how it ties into the endocannabinoid system and how cannabinoids can work, topicals and all the other stuff. So skin protection. It does a ton of protecting.
Yeah. Without your skin, you're not going to live.
Well, there you go. And there you are sitting there naked, Nurse Mark. And so your skin protects you from wind, water, ultraviolet rays. So if you were outside in the elements. The part that's great too is it protects us from water loss, right? Due to the presence of layers of skin. We've got keratin in our skin and these special lipids. So it protects us from water loss.
Which is hugely important.
Huge.
Huge. Imbalanced if you're losing water.
Yep. So it prevents dehydration. Protects the body from invasion of microorganisms, chemicals, and other environmental toxins. Acts as a sensory organ, right? It's our feeler organ.
Right. Like I can feel the air conditioning blowing on me now. It's beautiful. There, you're loaded with sensory.
I know, and I can feel the lights beaming on me, and I'm sweating.
Right. It's huge.
Right? So the skin modulates body temperature and electrolyte imbalances. The other thing that's important too is it is a synthesizer of vitamin D.
Right. That's why they say it's important to get some sunlight, right? Because that's what's generating the vitamin D.
Yep.
And that's actually one of the issues with everything that, all of the makeup and the things that people use nowadays all have, they all have protective sunscreen, which is good on one hand, but on the other hand, it could lead to vitamin D deficiency because you're not getting enough of that sunlight through to your skin.
Yeah. And then all the other toxic chemicals that are in those, prepared formulations for, UV protection can be bad too. So the other thing too is we have our hypodermis, which is under the skin, which stores fat. It's the cushion.
I have a really good hypodermis.
You have a good hypodermis?
Yeah, I do. It stores a lot of fat. More now during the COVID pandemic than before, but yeah. So that's important, right? Because that's what's going to help you regulate your body temperature. Those stores of fat and, of course, keep you alive.
It keeps you alive. It keeps you alive.
Baby.
Yeah. So research, Mark, is fairly new when it comes to the integumentary system. Most studies focus on the central nervous system. They focus on the immune system. But however, the integumentary system, our skin, is the largest organ system. So for the past 2 decades, studies have completely confirmed that cutaneous cannabinoid signaling is deeply involved in the following areas. For the maintenance of skin homeostasis, right? So we talk about balance, homeostasis or balance. Also, skin is really important as a barrier formation and regeneration. So it protects our internal organs and helps us to regenerate. So really, really important stuff. And you hear, we always talk about the endocannabinoid system, the largest neuroregulatory system, and endocannabinoid deficiency and what that might look like. 2004, Ethan Russo came up, said that the endocannabinoid deficiency there's 3 major conditions he postulated, and it's been proven: fibromyalgia, migraines, and irritable bowel. But now the endocannabinoid system has been implicated, the deficiency has been implicated in these different various skin disorders, which is really interesting.
Hmm.
Atopic dermatitis, psoriasis, scleroderma, acne, pigmentation disorders, keratin diseases, various tumors, and itching,
Yeah. Yeah,
right?
and a lot of those are related to your immune system as well. So it's all that tie because the endocannabinoid system is so vast and so intricate in every system in your body that it's part of it. It's why the National Institute of Health said that the endocannabinoid system is likely involved in every disease state. So all this whole list, of course. Yeah.
Totally makes sense. It
Mhm.
totally makes sense. So for people that are new out there that are wondering about the endocannabinoid system and kind of what it might look like, I always refer to my handy dandy umbrella. Right? So we have, and sometimes, providers will pull up like a big giant skeleton and will put what the different receptors are, but I kind of want to make it really simple for people to understand. So
Mhm.
if you imagine that you are that umbrella, right? Every spoke of the umbrella is a different organ system. So, like Mark's skin, you can see Mark's skin's right here.
Yes,
That's
this
his
is the
skin
biggest,
is,
largest organ that I have.
and the skin is one of the spokes of the umbrella,
Yeah.
right? So, all of the different spokes of the umbrella are different organ systems.
Mhm.
The fabric that surrounds the umbrella and that attaches to the different spokes of the umbrella are the neurotransmitter signaling systems that give messages to the spokes of your umbrella to tell those spokes to either do something or stop doing something.
All
So
tied
it's
together.
on off switch. Boop, boop,
Mhm.
boop, boop. Very tippy top of the umbrella, if I can
Mhm.
get it right. I like the little hat with the cannabis flower. Is the endocannabinoid system, which releases internal endogenous cannabinoids upon demand, depending upon what's going on in our umbrella.
Mhm.
And the goal of our body releasing those internal endogenous cannabinoids is to provide homeostasis or balance or to keep our umbrella going up and down nicely. So if we're not making enough of our own internal endogenous cannabinoids, the very, very tippy top of the umbrella, well, what happens? We don't get rained on. And when
Right.
we don't get rained on, messages don't get to the signaling systems and they don't get to the organ systems to either turn the light on or turn the light off. And
And
before you know it, we have a switch that's going like this
yeah,
and systems start to break down.
imbalance, imbalance.
Imbalance,
Yeah.
imbalance.
Mhm.
So the goal when we introduce cannabinoids into our body is to start to regulate the system to do things that it's supposed to do so our body remains in homeostasis or balance, which means optimal functioning, which means
Right,
we feel good,
right,
right? We
right.
feel we feel good in our skin.
We feel good in our skin. Absolutely. Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So Mark, did you know that we make our own internal endogenous cannabinoids like the plant?
Yes.
And did you know that when we make these, they're produced in the same concentrations in our skin as it's in our brain? That's the part that I found very fascinating. So we produce internal endogenous cannabinoids the same amount in our skin as we do in our brain. So that should tell you something.
Yeah, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
It makes sense though. If it's the largest organ and the endocannabinoid system is, regulating all of these different organs and systems, why wouldn't it be there too? So we
Yeah.
have a bunch of cannabinoid receptors throughout our skin.
Yeah. We
Yeah.
do. Hair follicles,
Mhm.
sweat glands, nerve fibers of the skin.
Mhm. Yeah.
Um, so these receptors, CB1 and CB2 receptors on the various areas of the skin, they mediate inflammation and pain sensation in the skin. So there's a lot of different types of skin condition examples we can talk about and the cannabinoid benefits. I have a whole list of topicals that we can talk about. But what I found really interesting was how psoriasis is a big one. How CBD stops the overproduction of the keratin cells, and these are the cells that are involved in producing the itchy, flaky layers of the skin, which I found very interesting. Acne, I found a lot of people that have been using cannabinoids or CBD for acne. It's an antibacterial. And the part that I found even more fascinating was CBD increases the levels of our own anandamide molecule, which reduces the activity in our oil glands, right? So CBD for the skin win.
Right. And it just makes sense.
Totally makes sense. Yeah. One of the probably my favorite stories with skin is Rick Simpson. Everyone's heard of, not everyone, but new people that are out there may have heard of Rick Simpson, may not. I know a lot of people that are in the cannabis space have looked up Rick Simpson oil, which is full extract cannabis oil. It's very, very high dose oil made from the whole plant. And Rick Simpson initially treated a head injury using cannabinoids, various cannabinoids, but then he had basal cell carcinoma in his arm. And he created this Rick Simpson oil that he completely applied to these tumor on his arm. And the cannabinoids actually reduced the tumor to the point where it went away. So he has no evidence of disease, or so he claims. And so this oil has been really, really pivotal in so many people's lives, not only for skin conditions, but even for cancer treatment, symptom mitigation, and we've seen, we have seen miracles using this plant for various different conditions. So I found that to be very fascinating, and seeing and learning how cannabinoids actually on the skin can work as an anti-proliferative, anti-metastatic, anti-angiogenic, and apoptosis.
And
Huge.
how much time do we as nurses spend trying to avoid wounds or heal wounds, right? If it's in a long-term care setting or in a rehab facility, we're always checking people to make sure that they don't have any skin breakdown, because when that starts to happen, obviously, if you're in bed for an extended period of time, there's all that pressure on your skin, blood flows decreased, you're going to have a wound over a period of time.
Yeah. And then skin breakdown.
Cannabinoids could help.
Yeah. Totally. Skin breakdown, so then you have not only pain, but then you have wound infection, cellulitis. It just opens up a whole host of other issues.
Nurse Carrie Lee has a comment here, Sherry.
Oh, where is she? I'm seeing
articles and case studies showing significant wound healing with topical, oral, and sublingual cannabinoids. Also reduced need for pain control with opioids during treatment.
Yes. Awesome. Yeah. Thank you so much, Carrie Lee, for sharing that article. I can just give you a classic example of, my mom. Mom, if you're out there, sorry, I'm going to tell on you. My mom got on the bus. I got to tell you a mom story. Yeah. So my mom got on the cannabis a couple of years ago after she saw a nun discuss that she was using cannabis and Jesus said it was okay. So my mom has been using cannabis and it's improved the quality of her life. However, my mom still wears high heel flip-flops. She doesn't anymore because I cut them up. But over the summer,
she's got on her come to visit.
She had on her high heel flip-flops and she's so cute. She cut out coupons for the neighbor. So she goes traipsing across the street in her freshly painted nails and her high heel flip-flops and wipes out. And has a huge skin laceration and bruising, and CBD oil really helped her. She had a laceration. She didn't put it right directly on the wound, but she put it around the wound edges, and she took her oral cannabinoids, and it took a little while to heal, but it ended up healing, and she didn't have to go on antibiotics. So I thought that was really fascinating.
It is.
So topicals.
Topicals.
Yeah. So topicals, there's a ton of different types of topicals. What do we have? We got creams, body butters, balms, salves, lotions, even tinctures people use.
Oil,
roll-on sticks.
Sure.
Yeah, there's so many different types of products. And they're products that are applied to the skin for localized symptom relief. So these are the topicals.
Right.
And they, like I said, they can include a lot of different things: roll-ons,
Hmm.
balms, ointments, oils. And the
But
part that I really like,
listen, Sherry, your skin's such a good barrier that, as you say here, it doesn't enter the bloodstream, right? When you
no,
use these topical products, they don't get through. Your skin is such a good barrier that it does not get through to your bloodstream. So I know I have had people ask me, oh, wow, am I going to get high from it? Or am I going to, if I use this CBD cream, if it has any THC in it, am I going to pop a test? And it's like, it's not going to get into your bloodstream. There have been
yeah,
studies that I've seen that have studied just that, and there's
yes.
no pass through into the bloodstream.
And the reason why too is because, think about it, the fat molecules are so thick,
Yeah,
right? If you think about transdermal
tight
patches,
barrier.
it's very tight
Mhm.
barrier. And so transdermal patches are another method of administration, which is different than topical, because transdermal patches actually does get into your bloodstream because there's a
Mhm.
specific ingredient that breaks down that area to allow the cannabinoids
That's
to
right.
get into your capillaries.
It opens up the cell layer so that it makes
Yes,
them just wide enough that everything can get through into the bloodstream. Right. So,
exactly.
so they're very effective, right?
Yes.
Transdermal patches have been used for medication application for a long, long time,
Yep.
and it's great with cannabinoids.
Yeah, Nurse Heather actually has a product out. Nurse Heather, love you, girl, if you're out there watching. Um, she has a product out, and it's a transdermal patch, a
Mm,
CBD transdermal patch that a couple of nurses that I know actually wear, and they say they have really good results from it because it is, they put the patch on every other day. They can
right.
cut the patch to
Yeah.
size.
Yeah.
Um,
I
so
tried one, Sherry, that a friend of mine, Melissa Stapley, has one from Pro9 Wellness, and it's specifically tailored to athletes. And it gives 96 hours of
wow,
continuous relief. So when you put that patch on, say for me, I put it on my back because I have had sore back for, I don't know, 20 years, 25 years. Anyway, put that on and it was great. It was great for that multi-day effect. Perfect.
yeah,
Mm,
totally. I mean, it's just, there's so many different ways to use this plant, and the part that I really love too about topicals is that they provide therapeutic healing without impairment. Um, the
mm,
whole plant, all the different essential oils that can be mixed in there. So, not, you could do CBD isolate, you can do broad spectrum, you can do full spectrum. They add essential oils in it. They can be added for fragrance or aromatherapy benefits. Terpenes also contribute to the medicinal effect, and topicals work on both the CB1 and CB2 receptors in our skin,
mhm,
where they're absorbed in locally to decrease inflammation, pain, swelling, and other benefits.
mhm.
So, what is your experience, Mark, with topicals? I can tell you, this is me. I'll tell you how I usually do. Get out of the shower, and I'm
Yeah.
like, all
Oh, yeah.
head
I
to
use the
toe.
pain cream formulation. I'm telling you, my back hurts from time to time, especially since I haven't been able to work out as much as I used to with the whole COVID pandemic. Haven't been able to get to the gym as much. So actually my back starts to hurt more if I don't work out. So I haven't been able to. So I use a pain cream formulation regularly, and
You have
it's
it? Can I see it?
I
No, not in
front.
front of you.
Sorry,
Oh,
it's
that's okay.
actually in the bathroom. So I can use it, right?
Oh, and you don't want to get up, do you?
Well, no, I am actually wearing my skin.
He's got his whole skin suit on, guys. He's like butt naked right there. Yeah, I dared him, and he took the dare.
I took the dare. I took the dare. You can't dare me to do stuff like that. Oh my gosh, you really can't.
Well, the part that's great is you feel comfortable in your skin,
You do.
and
Yeah. I
that's
use
a
that
good thing.
cream formulation in the morning because I'm tight in the morning, and I'll use that, and within 5 minutes, I'm loose. The pain is gone, and I'm able to do a little yoga, kind of
Yeah,
stretch, get some movement going. It works great.
it does work great. I've seen miracles with people that just the topicals. The topical was the
How do you use them?
Well, how I use them is I use them first thing in the morning when I
Mhm,
wake up as well. Whether I'm going to shower or not, I put it because I have this condition called polymyalgia rheumatica, which is an autoimmune condition. It's a chronic myofascial pain disorder. And I
mhm.
feel it all through my neck and my chest and my upper back. I call it like the football shoulders. And it feels like I have glue and glass under my skin. The best way I can explain it, and really stiff. And so even turning my head, taking a deep breath, sometimes I feel like there's like it's sticky and glass. So I put the topicals on and it truly helps me to be able, it decreases the inflammation. I get relaxed and
I
I
feel
can
like I
move.
have it now.
You feel
Now that you mentioned it, those I am a hypochondriac, by the way, and you mentioned those
the crunchy.
symptoms. I'm like, wow, I have all of those.
Oh yeah. Oh, but like this, but see that the part that's nice is that the topicals take the edge off, so I
Mhm.
can, get out of bed and then I'll do my, I'll do my capsules. I'll
Yeah,
do my tincture, and if I have a lot of anxiety, I'll
yeah,
inhale too. So it all
yeah.
depends. Cannabinoid therapeutics is personalized. It can change over time, day to day. What I can take could be different.
Mhm.
No one's the same, but yeah, but generally for topicals, what I recommend for patients when they first start out is to use it twice a day, in the morning and at night and after bathing. And then you can customize it, because some days I'll wake up and I feel great, and I'll even forget to take it. Like
Yeah.
I'll forget to put. I wake up, I'm like up out of bed. I'm like, whoop, it's a good day today. No topical for me,
I
So,
love it.
but starting off, you want to be consistent and regular with it.
Yeah.
You know, um,
Mhm.
it totally
Anything
works.
anything to do with using cannabinoids is a
Yes,
great tool. Yeah, as a medicine. You're it's regularity that's gonna make the difference. And I think
yes,
that's a good point because people tend to want, an immediate relief, and if they don't get it, they give up. And that's a shame because the magic will happen if you keep going,
well,
right?
that's that, and if you think about too, if we go back to the umbrella concept, right? We didn't get an endocannabinoid deficiency overnight.
Right,
Generally, it
right.
takes, there's conditions, there's things and situations in our lives that contribute to an endocannabinoid deficiency, and I'll get into them now.
Yeah.
Fast food, fried food, fake food, artificial flavors, artificial colorings, trans fat, hydrogenated oil. So diet is huge.
Stuff that we've been shoving in our bodies our whole lives, right? I mean, you just
Yes,
grow up with it and it's what you continue to do.
yes. And
You try to
so
make a change.
yes. So what we put in our bodies nutritionally affects our endocannabinoid system and of course is going to affect our skin,
Mhm, mhm,
right? Hydration, water. We should be drinking half of our body weight in water unless we're on a fluid restriction. And when
mhm.
I'm talking about water, I don't include coffee or alcohol or juice. I'm talking water. I'm talking
Water,
real water.
water.
Yes.
Yeah,
Water,
none of
water,
those
water.
other things count as
Mm,
water.
exactly. So what do
Yeah.
we say? Diet, nutrition, water.
Mhm,
Um, well,
mhm.
all these things that contribute to a healthy endocannabinoid system: meditation, movement, exercise, prayer, essential oils, aromatherapy, um, tons of different things that contribute to a healthy endocannabinoid
Right.
system. The thing that I like too is that topicals can be used for multiple different conditions. You also have to be careful of the different ingredients. So depending upon where you're going to use the topical, so there's certain topicals you don't want to put on your face. So you should really look at
Don't
the
put
various.
cream on and
Yeah,
not
well, the other day I was
the
experimenting.
menthol and lidocaine. You don't want it on any sensitive spot.
Well, I was experimenting with a bunch of different, ingredients, and I learned the hard way. I had like this beet, beet red flaming face.
Well,
Like,
it's like probably the most sensitive skin that you have, right?
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So you got to be careful and look at the essential oils that are in there, because it could aromatherapy benefits. You just don't want to have any allergic reactions.
Mhm.
But the more you can know about how the different ingredients are in there, because the terpenes, the essential oils, add therapeutic effect and benefit. Because we've seen, increased therapeutic potential with frankincense, with arnica, all these other essential oils that provide therapeutic potential. So the anti-inflammatory cannabis topicals, which I have seen work really well on twists, sprains, joint pain, muscle pain, scratches, bruises, burns, swelling, insect bites, and stings.
Yeah.
So, but you wouldn't want to use the exact same product on all of those different things. So it's
Mhm.
really, really important that everyone looks at the ingredients.
Right, and you know what? And it makes a difference if you're gonna use a salve or you're gonna use a lotion or you're gonna use a cream. You know,
Yeah,
they're specifically formulated for different
different.
things,
Yep,
right?
definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah, so here's a classic example too. So when I first started, I like body butters for my face. I like lotions for my upper body because when I was using salves at
Mhm.
first, they were great and I love them, but I'd have to like walk around with my hair up and no shirt on.
Yeah,
Like, because
yeah, 'cause they
it's
stick.
thick.
They
So I'm
stick.
like
Yeah,
I'm walking
they're
around with no
formulated
shirt on, and my
too,
kids are like,
right?
go put some clothes on. So the lotion is really good because the lotion absorbs really quickly.
Right, right.
So the other thing that's important too is that if people are going to be using it for wound healing, you must consult with your doctor first.
Yes.
Now, as we are all about keeping you out of the hospital.
And
We
you
want to
wanna
do
make
every
sure if you have a wound, especially if you're diabetic, you already know this. If you have to know this, you have to be really careful. If you have a wound, you need to see a doctor on it.
you need to see a doctor. Yeah, just don't start tossing cannabis oil on there.
Right.
Really important. The part that's cool too is that cannabinoids have been good for MRSA.
I know.
Methylo-resistant Staph aureus. So MRSA is a really brutal, 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 brutal infection,
It is.
and it's resistant to multiple antibiotics. And
Mhm.
so to be able to use this in a
Pay
way
for
to
the
help.
hospital system, right? Because if you get MRSA while you're in the hospital, they have to pay for the treatment if you get it while you're there.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, hospitals don't want you to get that because if you get it while you're there, it's on their dime.
Oh, I didn't know that. Well, that's
Yeah.
good. There you go. There you
Mm.
go. Interesting. Now, the other thing I love about cannabinoid topicals is it's anti-aging.
Oh, I look great for 92. Do I use my topicals every day? I do. I feel good too.
I mean, there is, it fights free radicals, and free radicals, everyone's like, what's a free radical? Bottom line, a free radical is a metabolic terrorist.
It
That's
is
how I put it. Right, here's an example.
disruptor.
Okay, an example. If you peel two apples and you put them both on the counter and you cover one apple with lemon juice and you leave the other apple open to air and you leave them there and you come back in an hour, oxidative stress will have oxidized that apple. It will have turned brown, the
Right,
apple that has no lemon juice on it.
right.
Whereas the apple that has the lemon juice on it will look nice and crisp and perfect
Still.
because the lemon juice is an antioxidant.
Mhm.
So that's the part that's cool. And
That's a
then,
great example, Sherry.
isn't that a fun one?
Yeah, you haven't told me that one before. That's a
I,
great example. I like that.
I know. So I look at cannabinoids as cell protectors,
Mhm,
right?
mhm.
Prevents the metabolic terrorists for coming in and disrupting, and just keeping it
That's
protected.
why I'm a fan of the bath bombs because you're immersed in that and you've got CBD all over all parts of your body. I think that's just a beautiful way to maintain your skin, really, to give
You
yourself
know,
an opportunity to, you
have
know
you ever done one? I haven't done one yet. I
yeah.
haven't done a. You have?
Mhm.
I haven't done one, but I know a couple people that have.
I am
But
a
I
fan.
need to get. You know what I'm going to do is I'm going to rent a room and then like a nice big giant bathtub
Yeah.
because my bathtub's a little skanky. I
Oh,
don't
well,
want to live
I haven't
all the
it's hard to find one that's big enough for me to feel like I'm,
right,
get my whole body into it.
right, right,
Yeah.
right. And then topicals is a lubricant. We've already had our sex show, but we might as well talk about that as well.
It's
We
skin
have
skin protection.
it's skin. Skin is in.
Mhm.
And topicals that have ingredients in them that are okay for internal use, such as like if you're just going to use a CBD topical that may just have one or two ingredients in it, we call it our safe product.
Mhm.
Right, to be safe. So a topical that's not going to irritate your vaginal area, your vulva,
Mm,
or your penis. We want
right.
to make sure we keep all skin parts healthy and intact.
I am fond of keeping my penis intact. Just gonna tell you. Hmm.
All right. Are there any other questions out there? We've covered skin, we've covered topicals, we've covered the endocannabinoid system, endocannabinoid deficiency, the
Yeah.
multiple types of topicals that are out there. And I guess one other thing I would say is that if you're new and using cannabis for the first time, topicals are a great introduction, really great introduction. And that's how I introduced my mother to cannabis when she was so anti-cannabis and blocked me on Facebook and
Great
wrote
way
me
to
out of her
get into
will.
the game. Yeah.
Right. So she felt good with the topical, and it helped
Right.
her to start to learn about the plant and that it was non impairing and it wasn't going to hurt her. And then she slowly advanced to whole plant. So it's a really good place for people to start if they're new.
It is.
So
Yeah.
Mark's got a special going on, Nurse Mark CBD.
I do have specials. I got a lot of
Great.
specials.
So let's
So,
talk about your specials.
okay, let's talk about the specials. We're going to talk about, I have a special going on right now. It's 20% off Nurse Mark CBD, and the coupon code is NM Nurse Mark 20. 20% off products, CBD products. I also put some bundles together. And so if there is a, well, let me throw the link up. Let me
That
throw that
sounds
link.
good. Let's throw the link up. So this is great. So Nurse Mark has an Amazon bestseller. Um, the book is called Absolutely Fucking Amazing: Living a Life You Love.
Woo! And I am
Right?
living the life I love, Sherry. I know you are too.
I am too. I totally am. And
Oh, yeah.
we, and on our hashtag is AFA, absolutely fucking amazing. AFA, have an AFA day. Right? So truly about bringing in hope, inspiration for growth and healing.
Yeah.
So Mark's bundle includes the book,
Mm-hmm.
CBD,
It does. It includes the book and a sample bottle of CBD so you can get started. It's 10 milliliters. You can get started, take it slow, and instructions on how to use it. And really, if you combine what's in the book with the CBD, you'll get rid of your stress. Like it'll be gone.
the book's really powerful. And the part that I really like about the book, and I've been studying a ton of spiritual healers, taken a ton of different work, like done a lot of different work with, different multiple platforms on consciousness. And all of these different healers have these most amazing, profound things to say. And what Nurse Mark has done is he's taken the best of the best and has brought it all together in one book. And it's really easy to read. It makes sense. And I have it at my bedside. It's great. It's like one of those books, you read it and then you can flip through it and open up a page at any time and get a good message. Really
Mhm.
powerful book.
It's got some good tips for sure. Some good tips.
Definitely. Definitely.
And so if you're looking for the bundles, you can find them there.
Here you go. The
All right.
bundle, stress free
That's where you can find the
living.
bundles. And
Yes. Yes.
we're we're here. Why?
To bring hope, inspiration, growth, and healing. And then we have another special too.
Mm,
This is a Green Nurse special, which Mark and I are collaborating on together. So if you get a book a consultation, there you go. Consultation or medical card, you get 50% off Nurse Mark CBD. So go to www.thegreennurse.com and you can start to fill out paperwork for a consultation. You can even just reach out to us, info@greennurse.com, and we can answer your questions. But if you go to the website's really beautiful, and we are expanding on it, and really excited to provide more information for you all, educational information, not only for patients but for providers.
yes.
And it has been another awesome Nurse Mark and the Green Nurse podcast.
So happy that you joined us here, and we're looking forward to seeing you again. Come on back.
And remember, You too can be comfortable in your skin, just like Mark.
Yes. Come on in. The water's fine.
The water's fine.
'Cause I'm
All
water
right,
I have skin.
you're awesome.
You
You're
too.
awesome.
All
All
right.
right, everyone. It's been a wonderful Friday evening. And remember what it's all about, truly about living your best life.